really our mission is bringing family and friends around a table.
Man, we're at it again. We've got a super special, really podcast for you. So this is At the Table with Ryan Lane, and we are sitting once again at our makeshift table in a super cool environment. And I think this is a must stop if you are in Texas, anywhere in Texas. So I'm with the guys from M&M BBQ Company. So we got Mike and Matt, and man, let's kick it off. First of all, thank you guys for staying late. I know you work. You're probably one of the hardest working teams in the barbecue business. We're after hours. It's cold. In fact, it's freezing in Texas.
Literally. I
can't believe it's
20 degrees
so
right now,
cold.
yeah.
But we shouldn't have left Georgia and to this weather. But it's good. So, thank you so much for doing this, and I'm looking forward to a great conversation.
Thank you, man. I'm incredibly appreciative of everyone that comes down here. So.
Yeah.
Everyone, we're not the only busy people on the planet, so everyone's got things going on. So I appreciate all of it.
Cool. So tell us so M&M BBQ. Not hard to figure out the name, right?
Nice and easy. Keep it nice and easy.
That's it. So I went with just Lane's Barbecue, and so the M&M is super cool. But what's y'all's background? Like, why smokers? Why this?
Yeah. Well, that starts with you. So
So my background is in barbecue, and I'm a second generation. So I've been born into this, and it's that's where my passion comes from, because like cold days like today is really cool, because I remember when I was younger and I'd sit next to a firebox, even in like big rotisseries, I'd sit next to a firebox and have that, and we just have the door open, and me and my dad would just sit there in chairs and just have that glow, and so that's days like today I cherish it. They're great, and it's great working weather as well. So I'll take 20s over 100s all day.
Man.
So
I bet you love this.
Especially this last summer was rough.
Rough.
It was rough. I don't know how hot it was in
Georgia. It was hot. It was a drought. I mean, it was it's hot. It's humid.
We were like 115 heat index for like a month. For like a month straight. It was rough.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
So, what I did, I grew up on that from my dad. My dad used to travel around and work on and repair smokers. So he would travel all over the nation and do all that. So what I did is I helped him with it. I remember going on service calls when I was like 6-7 years old.
Yeah.
And there's one event that I can remember the most is I was super young. And he's probably not going to be happy I'm telling the story, but we were going on a service call, and we were driving a diesel. Well, he pulled up to the fuel pump, and he put in gas instead of diesel. We made He did. Oh, I did.
That's why he's not want to hear it. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And I remember that we got pretty far down the road, actually, because it was a double tank, so it took a minute for it to catch. And man, we went down. That thing started sputtering. We found out that he put gas in that diesel, and so I've never done that before. By the way, I'm gonna see if I can learn from that.
I know. I'm thinking we've got about 3 fill-ups on the way home, and we're in a diesel. And I'm not I don't ever drive one, but the Sprinter van is one. I'm like,
don't jinx it.
I've picked it. Yeah.
Yep. So they say knock on wood. Here we say knock on metal. So we'll knock on metal for you.
There you go.
But so I was with him, did that, and so I, while I was in college, was working with him and doing that, and graduated, and I started kind of taking over that spot and doing that and doing all those good things, and I was traveling all over the nation working on them, you know. So I loved it. I mean, I'd have barbecue every day, and they're like, "Are you sick of barbecue?" I'm like, "No," because each customer I went to had a different
different spin.
So typically most everybody has a different spin, so it doesn't really get old if you're trying, other people's things. And so that grew into a passion, and it kept going and kept going. And I'm about 15, I say 15 to 17, but it's actually around 17 now.
Okay.
The years have passed so fast, so about 17 years I've been doing this. So I've been, I did that, and I came in and I was like, man, we can fix this, we can repair this, because again, I've seen families that they're doing good, but they're struggling and to make ends meet. And I'm like, man, we could fix this and make this pit a little bit better. We could fix this and make it more efficient.
Yeah.
So I kept, I was learning and learning and learning. And Matt has been my best friend for 30 years,
which is really like one of the coolest parts of your story.
Yes.
Like, because here's the thing, man, it's really tough to be friends, to go into business together, and then stay in business together.
Yeah. Yep.
And still be able to sit here and share a beer after hours. You know what I mean? Like, it's building a business. I know I've struggled a lot with that.
Yeah.
Just because as it grows, it's the toughest piece.
A lot of people don't realize that when they say, "Oh, you're an entrepreneur, man, that must be nice." We've gotten that so much time. No, your hours are every minute of every day, from when you wake up, from when you go to sleep, and even in your dreams. That's what a lot of people don't realize is not only during the day that you're awake are you thinking about it. Most entrepreneurs, if they dream about it too.
Yeah.
So you're constant. It's every single day, and if you have that passion, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Because you're going, man, you wake up and go, oh, man, and you remember with that, and you wake up with that. I'm going to take it today, and I'm going to go today. And, so with him and I, we went to elementary school together.
Yeah.
We went to middle school together. We went to high school together. We went to college together. So it's, I've known him. He is a brother to me, and
cool. We're family.
We're family. And we've seen a lot of the, struggles from, growing and doing what we're doing, and struggles of running a business, growing as a business
is hard. Like, it's really hard. Everyone's like, I want to do it. I'm like,
we've been through all of it, but we have something we have really good, especially growing more. Like, there's been the disagreements and difficulties and coming up, like, as we're learning. I think all entrepreneurs, business owners are pretty much learning on the fly. You're just like a skilled problem solver. Like, if you're going to be successful, you got to be able to just put fires out nonstop. But we're really good at separating friendship and family and business. Like if we need to have a business talk, there's a problem, or this is what direction are we going to go? We're good at going, okay, friend, family's off. We're two, businessmen talking right now. What's the decision? What's the effect of it? What's it going to do?
That's a really it's easy for you to say, and I know you guys practice that, but that's a tough thing for people to do, because when you're first starting, like, really all Mike's worried about is Mike and his family.
Yeah.
And Matt and his, you know what I mean? And now when we got here, I don't know how many employees were here, but like, there's a lot of other pieces that are involved, and that's usually what wakes me up at night.
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm like, cash flow. Do we have enough cash to pay the, you know what I mean? Like, those are the things. And I'm like, man, I know what we're doing is great, and I know we're making a difference, but it's still sometimes success is what can take you down. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Well, getting successful and getting comfortable.
Yeah.
Really can deter you, and it can deter you really quick, and the one thing that me and Matt say all the time is you have to take things that are uncomfortable and make it comfortable, but keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
And what you can't ever be comfortable.
Yeah.
You got to keep pushing. You got to keep innovating. Like, we also say, innovate or die. So it's like, it is every day is pushing the envelope for us.
Yeah, our tagline is keep experimenting, and clearly you guys take that to a whole. I wish, and maybe one day we'll flip this camera around and show everyone what you guys are working on. Because I'm like, I told Jeremy earlier, I was like, it's like I'm drinking from a fire hose. Like, like everything I see, I'm like, I need that. Like, I didn't know I needed it, and now I'm like, I definitely need that. So, all right. Was there anything you wanted to add on?
That's basically it. That well, and then so since we've been friends for so long, and it was like, I see this, and this, and this, and Matt with his background, which he'll get into that, is like, it's just a perfect timing, meant to be, and I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. What do you think? And then the rest is history. And
yeah. All right, Matt. I learned something new today that I had no idea. So tell us a little bit about your background too.
So it's pretty much, I've said it 100 times. Everything I see, it's the perfect storm.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've butted heads a few times about like trying to focus about what's happened in the past. And I've always, not always, but my mind is more like, what's in the past in the past. Yeah. It's gone. Yep. Let it go. Don't dwell on it. We got a problem. Let's solve it. Let's go do this. So everything was kind of meant to be. So just like he said, we met when we were, I think, 9 or 10 years old, all the way through college. we graduated college. We graduated right when the housing market crashed. So like
So 08,
08,
right,
like
yeah.
housing market
We all
crash.
remember it well.
Jobs, like everything. We went to college, got a bachelor's in business degree in marketing. I had no clue what I wanted to do. I landed a sales job. I was doing really well, but I learned it real quick. Like 4 months in, I was like, "Yeah, I'm not meant for this. Sitting at a desk and making phone calls all day is the most miserable I've ever been in my life." So that's what led me and him as well. Grew up. Everything we did, we were all about building custom trucks, custom cars. We went to the drag races. Him and his dad drag race forever.
Yeah.
You saw the old drag truck still sitting in there, and I've always liked custom cars and all that. And I was like, screw it. So I looked up a tech school that. They actually talked to us when we were in high school.
Yeah.
But, I hadn't been there forever, but it's Wild Tech. It's in Laramie, Wyoming.
Okay.
And I was like, I knew I can't do this business, this corporate world stuff. It's just, man, this is not for me. Like, I'm the most miserable I've ever been. And I called a recruiter and I was signed up that day. So I had 6 months to save money and pack up, move to Laramie, Wyoming.
Yeah.
7,200 feet up, and I was gone. So let's go. And because like that was the first time in my life I really knew what I wanted to do. So like I was head on fire on a mission.
That's cool.
And yeah, things were meant to be. Like 2 weeks before I graduated, I was top student in every course that I did. They asked me to be speaker at graduation. And 2 weeks before I graduated, a really high-end shop in California called and was looking for like a new guy to bring in and train.
Yeah.
And they were like, "How do you feel about moving to California?" I was like, "Let's go." I don't have anything holding me back here. So that's what I did for, I think, the better part of 7 years.
Okay.
So super high-end sheet metal chassis fabrication. So I built anyway from $250,000 to $2 million cars.
So what is a
hand-built.
$2 million car?
So the $2 million car, I say that specifically because I did a full restoration on a 1955 Mercedes SL Gullwing.
Yeah.
So, the SL Gullwing, doors come up. Super, super rare. And that went at auction, I think, for like $1.7, $1.8 million. And that was just a clean restoration.
Yeah.
Majority of what I did was like, the last project I worked on was a 69 Ford that a guy brought in, the bump side pickup.
Okay.
Lower little thing, but we did a full chassis on it. I built the front and back bumpers from scratch. I built the dash from scratch. I built the whole engine bay from scratch. I built the whole bed from scratch. It was body drop. So like, it's in paint and being finished right now, and that was 7 years ago. So they had like the guy had like $300,000 in it when I was in it, and just like my sheet metal work. But yeah, the custom car world's crazy. It's a whole nother world. Vast majority of people have no idea like how much money it takes to like really build something scratch built.
I would say the smoker world is pretty crazy too.
That's
You know what I mean? Like what you guys are doing is amazing. I don't think a day goes by that you don't pop up in our feed, but like we're like some like big beautiful smoker. Like the paint is insane, the colors are awesome, and it's like your smiling mug. You know what I mean? Like this is going out. And I'm like, oh my gosh! Like how many barbecue places
the social
are there?
media posts are his favorite thing of the day.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh Lord, they are.
Well, that's what we got here, and
so
I was like, how can you move that many smokers? And you're like, and because here's what I think is the coolest thing, and this is kind of what, like, our businesses are completely different, but we are the manufacturer. Like, we own the whole process. So we're sourcing everything, we're building everything. Like, we're doing it all exactly like you are, except, not as much, I guess. It's
I didn't know that part. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
I
So
did not
we've got
know
all
that.
the equipment, like everything you're showing me, and you're like saying like that was that. I'm like, God, I know, man. I felt that one too. You know?
It costs this much, man. Especially if you're.
Well, that's awesome if you're doing all
It's
that.
crazy. So yeah, we own the manufacturing process as well, and so which is I think why I'm so drawn into you guys, just because I know the passion's there. Like most people that are starting a business, there's passion.
Yeah.
You guys are super smart, and like I've never seen hustle like I see from you guys. And so that's why I was like, when I was telling Jeremy, I was like, look, we're going to be in Texas. We're going to Tool, Texas. He's like, why?
What's Tool, Texas?
M&M, baby. You know
What is
what I
Tool,
mean?
Texas?
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those things. It's like, well, we're from Georgia. We don't know a lot of the places. Like, you're Dallas, you're Austin, like all that. And I'm like, we're in.
No,
so
we're going to Tool.
I know. So, all right. So you start a smoker business, right? And so do you guys remember the first smoker that you built?
Yeah. We do. And what's special about the first smoker that we built was with not only with my dad, but really Ricky Rasco. And he's since passed 2 or 3 years ago. And actually, Matt came in. He goes, God, I wish Ricky would be here to see what we built. And and so having that, the guy, he's been in barbecue for probably about 40 years, even prior to my dad.
Yeah.
And I learned under him and my dad.
Okay.
So I got to learn from some of the guys who've been doing this for a really long time. And he was there for our first 3 to 4 builds. And that again, it's been a while ago now, but I'll never forget our first builds that we did, because we weren't in a shop like this. We weren't even in the shop that you went to.
Yeah.
We were in a shop right next to a house, 30 by 40.
30 by 40 foot.
30 by 40. Yeah. And so like, that's what we were doing it. And we were building 3 of them at a time.
Yeah.
At that point in time. And we did 1 and then 3. And, I'll never forget that first build. And then because him and I, again, I'm going out, he's working and doing that, but I'm also going out and running service calls too, because, I ran service calls up until very recently.
Yeah.
So
It's everything that funded and backed the whole business.
Pretty much.
How it stayed afloat while we were building and learning what we were building and developing. So
Well, the reason, like, you running service calls is really the whole reason we met in the first place, because my buddy Steven Hartsock, he would give you a call and he's like, hey, man, I got a problem. Can you help me out?
Yep.
And he's like, Mike always answered. He always knew what to do. And so when we came out for the Texas Monthly event, he's like, we have one stop. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
so I know we got in town as me, him, and Jonathan Wilson.
Yeah, I
Who
remember
actually
yeah.
helped us. We just finished a cook for the Dude Perfect crew. And Jonathan was there helping us with that too. So I love this community of people. Like, you can call on anyone, you know, and like.
And on that was a competitor's pit that I was helping him with too.
I know.
So
I
it's
was gonna let you say it.
No,
but
that's okay.
yeah.
Hey, I mean, the thing is, again, like, it's a community, and just because it's not cooking on an M&M doesn't mean that I have the knowledge that to be able to fix it for him. And he struggled. That pit was down for a long time, and he was like, dude, I've tried everything.
Yeah.
I had him up and running in a day.
Yeah.
yeah, restaurant's his livelihood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the whole stream shut off. If it's not running, the heart's not pumping, it's not going.
When you're on the back end, when you see the families, that go into these barbecue places and you see them, it changes your perspective, and
absolutely.
You don't want to see them struggle. And if any time that I can help, if they call me, I'm like, hey, it's not M&M, but I know this product really well, I'll help every time.
Yeah.
And twice
so
on Sunday.
not only do all your customers have your cell phone number, but even not your customers.
Even not my
they've
customers
reached
have
out.
my
Yeah. They've even got them too.
Yep.
Yeah. I know. That's awesome, man.
Every single one of our M&M customers has my cell phone number. Yep.
That's cool.
Got to.
That's
man.
so cool, man. All right. So you guys are, how old's the business now?
This will be year 7.
Year 7.
For manufacturing.
For manufacturing.
Yeah, manufacturing. So the service side, I guess officially was 2003.
Yeah, 2003.
All right, but you build a couple different styles of pits, right? So let's walk through a couple of the different styles, and then you feel free to share.
Yeah.
anything you want to talk about.
So we'll start number 1 with rotisseries.
Yeah.
So now to this point in time, we have our prototype. It's not ready yet, but almost there.
I can see it.
We'll just go
Yeah,
sides. We'll go sides. to
Literally,
sides.
It's right here.
I can see it.
Well,
yeah.
that's not even the one I'm talking about yet. The buzz now. We'll get to that one in just a minute.
Yeah. It's where we were gonna hold the
Surprise!
podcast.
There's another one.
That's where we were
got a
gonna hold the
couple,
podcast.
So we have, that's been like a 4-year baby. We have a actual functioning killer backyard micro rotisserie.
Okay.
So it's pocket size. It's amazing. It's a monster compared to what we build. So we have that. Then we have our MM240, which is our smallest commercial rotisserie. We have MM1000, which was our mainstay for a long time. And now our MM2000, the next one, is by far, it's probably 20 to 1.
What was that? The one in Lockhart?
The one in Lockhart was a 2000.
2000.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2000.
That thing was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're about to.
Yeah, well, we're about to make that one look like a little bitty guy.
Yeah. I think we
Yeah.
can officially say it. Yeah. So we're excited to see this next launch of the next
Yeah.
pit. I mean, it's something that we've been wanting to do for a really, really long time, and finally, to his dismay, I was like, "We're building it." we are going to build. And he's like, man, we have 1,000 projects going on right now. I'm like, we got to do it.
Yeah.
We got to do it. And he immediately was like, all right, let's do it.
All right.
He was like, I'm in.
All
I'm
right,
in.
mad scientist jump
So,
to it.
but whenever you hear Texas barbecue, it's always like offset. So why rotisserie? Like, talk a little bit about it. Like, why to you guys? Like, why, and I know you do both.
Yeah, we do both. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do both because we say that a perfect pit room has both. Offsets are great; they're wonderful, but rotisseries they're on a different level when it comes to a lot of things. I call them game changers, and I'll go on record with saying they're on game changers. They're
You
game
just
changers.
did,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just did. I just did. So
You don't know.
It happens.
I'll be ready to get the texts and the emails and the fun with this
Here
on.
comes the hate mail.
Yeah, here comes all that. That's okay. I'm used to it now. So,
We'll just air it in Georgia. It'll be fine.
fine,
Yeah, you're good.
but no, they're true game changers. I mean, they're 100% all natural wood fired. Again, when it comes to running a business and putting the best product out there possible, the rotisseries are amazing.
Yeah.
They are, and I'll put it up against even our offsets. And when anybody ever asks, like, hey, can we come down and cook on it? Come on.
Yeah.
We want you to. When you don't have to have a schedule to come see us. You don't have any of that stuff. You just let us know. Come on, we'll make it happen.
That's exactly what we did.
That's exactly what y'all did.
Yeah. They're like, we're leaving Dallas. Can be there in an hour and a half. You're like, come on.
with it.
Are you there? Yes, we are. We're almost always here. So.
Yeah.
Yep. we have nothing to hide here, and we love that. We love showing people what we do because I mean, him and I are here so much that this is our home, and we love showing people what we do.
Well, I can tell you, your passion is infectious. Like it is. Like I'm like, I need to start a smoker company. Like, I don't know anything about it, but I'm like want to pick up my family and move it here just to hang out with you guys. It's something about.
I appreciate that.
And I think ultimately, I love small business. I love people. And I love guys who just like do it. Yeah. Like there's a lot of times like you can just like not. And you guys are just getting after it. And so like kudos to you, man. That it's hard to do that too. Like when you're signing the checks and you're looking at everything and risk.
Watching
you know
that
what I
cash
mean?
flow
Like,
move and you're going, yay,
Which is another question. Like you guys, so over the last 6-7 years have exploded. And so how do you manage that? I'm going to get out my notepad. Like, how do you manage the growth? How do you manage bringing on new people? We were talking about new people that you guys are adding. Some of those people, they cost a lot of money. Yeah. And so, like, how do you manage that growth? And as you're sourcing all the equipment, I mean, everything that you're working with, all the raw materials, all of that, like, how are you doing that?
Well, I mean, literally, I'll say the most honest one is literally trial by fire for the first bit. Like we're feeling our way through this process. And I will openly admit, we've been reading and listening to podcasts and entrepreneurs. And I've never read more in my life than I have in the last 5 years. Yeah. And like, there's just so much knowledge to learn. And what I'm learning, what you're talking about, I love small business. I think my favorite part about all of this are the people that come in to visit and talk when we go to restaurants, because you're talking to another entrepreneur. And it doesn't matter what the business is, we all have the same problems. Yep. We all have the same problems. It's crazy. And like, especially at this time that you're like, okay, I don't feel as like alienated, or this doesn't feel weird to me now that I know that everyone is dealing with this. Yeah. So it's just learning how to solve problems, not live in the past, and not let like issues or problems overwhelm you. Yeah. And the expansion, like rapid expansion, like it happened really quick. Like we should have, and like we failed the first time we did it. Like we tried to throw bodies at problems, and like bodies don't do any good if you can't train them. Now you just got high payroll and you're not getting anything out.
Yeah, that's why I don't say fail. I say winning and learning.
Yeah, we learn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we learn a lot.
You got to learn. Like if you're not learning, you're not trying. Yeah.
Well,
you know
I mean, to add on to that, I mean, we had a dumpster. I mean, a full dumpster full of product that we're like, yep, this can't go. And we filled up a big, massive dumpster of stuff like we had to discard because
you're just looking at material and labor and like I was paying someone to do all this and it's got to go. It can't go out the door.
And the things, especially about like rapid expansion and doing all these things, is it's not easy.
Yeah,
I'll say that, and it's especially when you're looking at the numbers and doing all those things. When you don't have backers and you don't have, like we were talking about earlier, you know, when you have somebody backing you, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't. Hey,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
got backers,
Here's the
hey,
thing. There's a million ways to do it.
There is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
look at the
yeah.
smoker world. Like, there's a million different ways that
Yep.
you can, like, get with a finished product of, you know, meat,
100%.
protein, you know? So,
100%. And you know, so for me, it's like, if you have backers, awesome. If you don't have backers, awesome. You know, like we never have, and you know, it's been out of grit, out of grind.
Yeah.
We've had many. I mean, many big backers.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to jump into. Where it's part of what I think really learned in the last, I'd say like 3 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, when we're like, okay, laser sight. I know exactly what we're doing now. We know exactly what we're building, and we've had that conversation multiple times because we've had what he was getting on. We've had some pretty healthy numbers thrown at us. People like trying to buy or bring us in to go other places and say, let's do this or let's join forces. And we just, we know what we're aiming at and what we're building at. And like, I'd rather us have control of what we're doing and stay true to what we're doing, which is a American, Texas built small business with gigantic aspirations. And, you know, we could probably be way further ahead. Had we have taken the money from a couple people that wanted to do it, and be like, we could do this and bring people in, but then also at the same time, this may not be here if that was the case. You never know when people come in and take control of things. So that's what I love about it, that we're genuinely doing it. It's the hard way, but I think it's the best way to learn. That kind of goes with what you were talking about, like all small business and business owners take notes and learn. I think it's a part of, you know, if you learn the hard way, man, like you can get through anything. Like if you solve
you learn
some
the
real
hard
problems.
way, you remember it too.
That's right.
You know
Well,
what I mean? Like,
It's tattooed on you. You know.
yeah. What would you say
Don't do that one again.
What would you say the biggest mistake you guys have made over the last 6 to 7 years?
I mean, for me personally,
Starting with this guy.
yeah, I should have done that.
We're gonna need to rewind that. Yeah.
Yeah, take that out of the tank.
Yeah.
Personally, to tell you the truth, is I'm a pretty calculated guy.
Yeah.
I try to minimize any risks that we do, like even building this building or buying equipment or doing those things. We make sure that we do things, and even if it is a big problem, like we really can't name too many because we just keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
So if we have a wall that's in front of us, we go, no, we're gonna push through this.
Yeah.
And then we forget it. It's out the door. We can't, like, you know, Matt was saying, like, we're not really big on the past. Like, yeah, we could have got bigger.
Yeah.
That would have been an easy way, and we would have had a way easier time with this.
Well, that's why they always say the rear view mirror is a lot smaller than the front.
That's
one.
right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Yeah.
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 You don't need to see as much.
Look at it. All right, learn. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Learn from what we did right here and do that, you know, and just keep pushing forward. You know, I think, you know, with our rapid expansion and all that stuff, it's been good. He was talking about, you know, hiring some people and stuff, but you know, that was probably the biggest learning curve. I think learning people's personalities has been something new for us because him and I are grinders.
That's the hardest one, man. Managing personalities. I did not foresee that being like a real challenge. Managing personalities is, man, that's another world.
I have to wrestle with my multiple personalities. You know what I mean? and then like you add other people in, and I'm like, oh my God, you know? Yeah, it happens.
Who might you wake up, put clothes on? Who am I going to be today?
Sometimes I don't even know, you know?
We've been saying that in the shop. That's the Conor McGregor. Who the is that?
Who the is that guy?
Yeah.
That's not the same mic I had yesterday. What happened with this guy?
Yeah, but that's it. Like,
happens,
because every day is a new day and it changes. You know what I mean? Like, the landscape changes. And if you're not pushing forward, you know, I always say, like, we're doing really well in the sense that, like, we're doing everything we're setting out to do.
That's right.
You know? And so, like, how do you keep doing? I'm always like, my wife's like, Rye, why don't you, like, take a breath?
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy the process. Enjoy what you're doing. I'm like, I know, but if you're not growing, you're dying. She's like, stop saying that. I'm like,
You're like,
the
but-
problem is, like, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
If you
That's
take
true.
a step back, like,
The similarities.
there's a lot
are
of
insane.
smoker companies out there, and they're coming for you, man.
Well,
like,
I mean, there's one every day.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, again, coming from, you know, 15 years ago, there was only this many.
Yeah.
There's literally a smoker company every day.
Yeah.
I mean, they are, and what him and I say, outwork us, because we're gonna work every day.
I know.
Well, and my favorite thing on the complete polar opposite scale of that is, to me, like, as a fabricator, builder, designer, like, competition breeds innovation.
Yeah.
So that's like my favorite saying in the world. Like, go ahead, dude, bro. I love it, man. The more competition there is, someone's going to do something. You're going to go, oh, that's badass. Damn it. Why did I think of that? What a great idea. And then it leads to someone else going, you know what? I like that. Or I like this, and move on. And like, it just, all it does is lead towards making a better product for our customers and our clients. And the entire core of this company, because it all started on service, is the best product for our clients.
We feel we're the same way.
And if you can call me and tell me, because we do it, literally, our products are literally in the fire all day. You can tell me if something's wrong with this or you don't like this is a problem. I promise you, it's the first thing we're going to do is dive headfirst into it. How do we fix this? How do we solve this? Call me. I've been on top of pits at midnight in here on FaceTime, helping people with how to change actuator motors. It's like, why are you out there? Well, I live here, so it's okay. Literally, I live in a little studio on the back, for a while. So
for years,
it was
not
handy,
for a while, for years. He lived.
That is grind.
He would live back in the back of the shop.
Yeah.
Wake up, and then I don't even know if we've actually publicly told anybody about that. He would. Maybe once, but that he lived here.
Yeah.
And he lived here for not like 6 months or so. It was like 3 years
like
he lived here.
4 years.
yeah, when I moved back, so I moved back to California, and we decided to do this.
So I was gonna say, what else are you guys? I mean, I don't know if anyone has noticed, but there's a pretty sweet little unit right here behind us. So, and so why don't you can you tell us a little bit about this? I mean, I want to put Lane's Barbecue on it. You know what I mean? Let's tag it on the side or something. But
Anyway, we've been.
so what is basically? I know it's a smoker, but tell us a little bit about it.
So,
And I will move out of the way a little bit. so you can
long
see
story
it.
short, obviously it's not done, but we started playing with a concept and a prototype probably 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it all led off of solving what we call the first door problem.
Sure.
On offsets. Like, you just can't cook on the first door because obviously there's, it's an open hole design. There's a fire right there. Most everything just gets nuked at that.
Yeah.
And so we started developing a backyard one when we were just getting into building offsets. And then through our experience and where we are now with our offsets, which is pretty incredible. We've got it about as dead even and spot on as you can get with our latest full gen. And so we're bringing it to the backyard market now.
And tell me, so you called it, it's called the biscuit test.
Yeah.
So everyone listening, tell us what the biscuit test, I mean, we love biscuits.
Oh, yeah. Well, they were delicious.
Yeah.
Biscuits are
tell us
wonderful.
about it.
But yeah, I mean, anyone that's cooked or cooks on offsets, it's kind of the gold standard of testing a offset smoker or any smoker. You can do it in a rotisserie. It really quickly highlights where the hot spots, because every smoker is a little different. You never know. The wall thickness might be different. You know, it could be moving a little bit different that day. And so we finally shot a full video with our final version of our heat delivery system in 500.
Okay.
Which, if anything, you understand a 500, once you get under 1,000, they get real spicy. You can get a 500 hot real fast.
Yeah.
But so we did it like you should a biscuit, we turned it up to 350. We had that thing firing, and we put 120 biscuits in there?
We wanted to load it up. We didn't want to have just 16 to 20. We wanted to go
Firewall to collector all the way to the end, and had a perfect 100% pass on the whole thing. And we lost 50 degrees when we opened it loading them, because we were trying to load them in. But we on purpose, you can see in the video, threw another log in right before we did it. And it ended up spiking back up to 325, 330.
Yeah.
And came out beautiful. We didn't have a single burnt biscuit, a single dark biscuit. Maybe 4 rows in was a little bit darker than the other, but even on the back wall, what's notoriously hotter on the back wall against the back.
Yeah, they were great. I mean, that was only because we were trying to make a point by throwing a couple more. But I mean, if we would
just slap some pimento cheese on it, man, it's fine. You know what I mean? A little bit of brisket, pimento cheese.
Well, I mean,
it's fine.
Yeah,
No one cares.
literally from nose to tail.
We even did it on purpose, throwing a log in there so people can't say it's the internet. People are gonna be like, I didn't see every ounce of it. You didn't do it. We could have just, gotten that thing smoking hot and it just been a coal bed and just rode it out with a coal bed, no smoke, and just taking your time.
Yeah.
Which eventually we're gonna put the entire thing on YouTube. We have it. We have the entire process of him and I doing it. We're starting in more into the YouTube. We posted that one video, so we only have 2, I think, up right now. But we're gonna post a full of us doing it, and that's what we want to do. We wanted to do a true start to finish. This is how we do it. Loading everything up. That way, people can see exactly how we do it. We again, we put a lot of time into this. I mean, the amount of time that we have in our firebox is insane.
Yeah.
And we could have, even on our Gen 1, just been like, man, that's That's awesome.
Yeah.
But we're like, no, we want to. We can get a
working.
little bit better. We can get a little bit better. We can get a little bit better. We also say, the pit you get today is probably not going to be the pit that you get tomorrow because we're going to continue to innovate.
Always,
we're gonna continue to grow.
always chasing perfection. So
Again, and it correlates with what you said too about competition. Competition is great. I mean, like,
I love
if we
competition.
if we don't have it, what are we going to do? We're just going to stagnate and we're going to do the exact same thing over and over. So like, with there being more competitors out there, with there being other builders out there, that's a good thing. That keeps us going. That keeps them going. And at the end of the day, it helps the consumer. It helps who's buying the units because they're going to continue to keep getting better and better and better units, or whether it's an offset, whether it's a rotisserie, they're going to continue to elevate. It's a wonderful thing.
in market wins. So.
Yes, I agree.
So anyway, like in short, well, not in short. Now that we've already gone in detail on this, but
I came in. And
I could actually sit here probably until tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Keep talking to you guys. I don't even think we can touch on everything.
It's the teaser. We're not going to go in full depth on it, but there's a whole lot more going into this than a lot of people or anyone will realize, and it's on purpose. This is designed to be a sleek, modern, industrial, which is our style. Classic pit that doesn't look like a lot's going on, but like if you just briefly notice, you'll notice the firebox doesn't stop here. The firebox is cut into it.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of madness and wizardry going in here, and it's not magic and wizardry. It's a lot of experience in the field of how to nullify that. So we are aiming to have the first backyard smoker that is like end to end, dead even, and looks like a really clean piece for your backyard.
That's cool.
Nice little piece, but that actually cooks phenomenal. And anyone that's curious for the teaser, it is 100 gallons.
Yep.
50-inch long, 28-inch long firebox, 20-inch. We will have an insulated firebox version. But,
That's correct. Yep.
Gonna be a monster. A whole lot of little hidden goodies in here that no one that I know yet to date has done in the backyard offset one.
Guys,
refined.
when you check this thing out, it's insane. So it's super cool. One thing else I want to talk about, you mentioned it earlier when we were walking around, is you said something about being an underdog.
Yeah.
And like you guys kind of like always fighting and gaining ground, and like tell us a little bit about that, because I think here's the thing. We all feel like a bit of an underdog. You know what I mean? And so I think that's part of that
That drive,
killer instinct, But tell us a little bit about like why do you say that? Why do you feel like that?
Yeah, I mean, so like I was saying earlier, is me and Matt, when we went to high school, I was saying we were 4'10", 90 pounds going into high school.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I went from like a baby to 180.
To 180,
you know what I mean? Yeah,
I've never won 180 in my life.
yeah. I was always in the husky clothes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like
you had to
that's just me. Yeah. So I don't know that. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, back then we would have loved to be on that.
Yeah.
I would have loved to
We
do
were
that.
wonderful.
We
We didn't grow until our junior year in high school.
Yeah.
So we were like
took a while.
We were like 5'5" going into junior year.
Yeah.
And then just overnight went to 5'11", 6 foot. Like it's like
So I have
thank
a funny
God
story.
I got these big feet. I'm praying I'm gonna grow into them.
I just recently changed my driver's license that said 5'5". I swear to God,
Are you
just
serious?
recently. Oh yeah, just recently.
That's hilarious.
Just recently.
There's no way.
5'5", yeah.
But that's probably that underdog spirit.
Well, I
You're
kept
like,
it-
you know
I
what
kept
mean?
it
You're
there
like,
because
I need to see
I
it
need to
every
see
day.
Yeah, so like when you do that and you're going there and so we used to race BMX and do all that, and we were just getting beat and I had one of my dad's friends come and watch and go and see how we were doing, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, I'm just getting beat.
Yeah.
And he came in and he's like, you're doing nothing wrong, you're just too small.
Yeah.
You're just too small. And I've never, me personally,
Hard truth just hit him right in the mouth.
Yeah,
Said,
I-
okay.
I'm never one to back down. I came from a pretty tough life, and so for me, it's like, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna figure out a way to do it. I'm just gonna keep doing it. And I'm just gonna do it by grinding and grinding and grinding. And for me personally, I went in, I won ROC #1, Gold Cup #1. Got state. I think I was like one of the top 3 in state. So like, as a really still small guy, after I heard that, I'm like, I'm going to grind and I'm going to keep grinding. The same thing when we were in high school, we were in track and stuff, and just getting beat up. It's like every day is like, I'm going to, and this isn't a knock on anybody else or any of that stuff. It's like, for me personally, it's like, I'm going to grind. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep coming at you. I'm going to keep coming at you. when you think that I'm tired, I'm gonna keep coming. I'm not gonna stop. And so like that mentality in growing into what we're doing today, it's like it's nothing against anybody else. It's just that's just how we've grown up. We've grown up to where we have had that grow up smaller, grew up in these environments, especially mine. It's just like I'm gonna keep working and I'm not gonna stop.
Well, I think that's the beauty is like you guys understand competition. You cherish it. You know it's there.
Yeah.
But you are also 100% focused on who you are and what you're doing. And I think that is probably why like people are they're coming, man.
Yeah.
They're coming. I think because it really, as I said it earlier, like it's contagious. Like it just like I want to go back and like do more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, people
And
pick
we're
up-
not even in the same industry.
I think
Like
people pick up on passion. Like you can see fire in people's eyes when they like genuinely care about something. Like you can tell if someone's you, or if they're just like, oh man, these guys really care about what they're doing, and it is, and it's just absolutely forged.
if a customer calls your cell phone and you pick it up, you care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you walk them through. Like
I bet
you're
if you
here at
check his
midnight-
phone right now without it on silent, it's probably got a bunch of messages on.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. All right. So what's next? Like, I know we've got a couple things. I know there's probably things that we can't talk about, which is cool. That just means we're going to have to come back. I see a pretty cool spot up there.
Yeah.
I know we need to come back. I want to hang out there for a little bit. So, but like, what's next for you guys? I mean, it's January, right? So 2024 is going to be a big year for M&M.
It's gonna be a blink of an eye. Is what it's
Yeah,
gonna be.
it's amazing on how
We're almost into February.
Right?
It's
Already,
crazy.
get out of here.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, 7 years have felt like a year. It's insane on how fast it's gone by. 2024, we're gonna hit it pretty hard. I'll let you go real quick, and then I'll
Yeah. So if you want,
elaborate.
we'll have obviously.
This
I would say realistically probably 2 months.
Okay.
We'll be ready to actual rock on the backyard
That's cool.
for real this time. And
because this is a
it
3-year
will
project.
be-
I don't know if we said that earlier. We built one of these with what he's talking
Yeah.
about earlier. We built one of these like 3 years ago, and everything blew up so fast.
Yeah.
That we just couldn't keep up with the demand on that side, so we had to shelf this. And we still have the original design from 3 years ago that that got posted and then got quiet. I talked to somebody today.
Just kidding.
He's talking about the digital thermostat. He's like, man, you posted a digital thermostat and they got super quiet. Then you posted it one more time and got super quiet because we're still working on it.
that one though, there's a lot of development in there.
Yeah,
like you
so
can't
much in
you
it.
can't just throw that out there.
Yeah.
A lot of development in that.
We didn't even talk about the open pit.
Which
I
one?
mean, the Santa Maria style. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of going. So like, what to look for this year? We've said it multiple times. This is going to be the year of accessories, like at the aftermarket line, where we're like really starting to define our core products to where it's like, okay, now the add-ons, and I want the people that are like, well, do you have this? Like, do you have this? And it's hard to say no because we're fabricators and builders where it's like, can you do this? Like, I can build anything. Like, whatever you want me to build, I'm down. Like, it's my world. I love building stuff. Like, my job forever in the car world was, they don't make this. Can you build it? And it's like, yes.
Yeah.
How many do you want? Yes.
Yeah.
But you have to learn, we can't get ahead of ourselves. Like, it's not ready to go. So that will be the year, the aftermarket year, that backyard line is going to be another one. And then we can't go full into it, but we can a little bit.
Let's go ahead. We're
Go
here.
ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all drove in. We're
You
gonna talk.
say what you want to say. I
Do
can't
we
put my foot
want
in my
to
mouth.
throw the name out or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if you're gonna go for it,
let's do it.
Let's go for it.
Well, it means a lot to us because this is something we've been wanting to do for a really, really, really long time, and then finally we're like, you know what, we're gonna build it.
It's a big project, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Because we had to scale everything,
Yeah.
So we're going to formally acknowledge.
yeah.
We're
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you guys understand.
Because you can
Oh,
see
so
it's
it's
literally
yeah.
like where you're
I've
on
been
now,
staring at it the
it's
whole
right
time,
there.
and I didn't think that we were even gonna talk about
You
it.
almost
So,
had to
like,
look up.
Well, that's funny because like those looking straight here, literally it's this way is the look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
It's big.
it's big.
So it is, to our knowledge. I'm not saying that it is, but to our knowledge,
This is the introduction of Zeus.
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 Cool name.
Zeus.
Like it's
King
gonna
of the
be sweet.
gods. There's some Titan references as well. So if you look up Zeus, look up the whole thing. There's a lot of meaning behind it, which
Okay.
is perfect for what we've done, and how everything kind of transpired. It's perfect. So
All right.
it is Zeus that we're going to
Yep.
launch, and to our knowledge, it's the largest rotisserie that we've ever seen in the world.
Yeah.
Instead of a 6-pin, it's a 7-pin. So we've
I would say you could fit the state of Texas in it.
It feels
right?
like
Man,
it.
so, yeah, so
The wheel inside of it is not a like 6-pin circle or hexagon. It's a septagon, so it's a 7-pin. So just base non-triple rack option. It's a 14 rack rotisserie, and it's a
21. I mean,
it's a 6 foot wide rotisserie too. So
Yeah.
it is gigantic.
100 plus briskets at a time. We're
Yeah.
speculating. I think realistically we can probably get 108 to 112 briskets,
Yeah.
give or take, is what I think we're going to be at. Ribs, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, stupid.
With this triple rack, it's going to be.
Let's not talk
insane.
ribs. How about chicken wings?
that's
How
what I
about-
was about to say.
Right.
So we can put 4
Literally
million
1
chicken
million.
wings on
Yeah.
there.
4 million. 4 million.
We're gonna
All
put.
right.
They're just going to walk right into
Don't
it.
lowball
That's
it.
right. Yeah, they walk in a whole chicken, they come out wings. You know what I mean? Like
You don't
you
have to do nothing.
That's right. Well, cool, man. I'm so glad you guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
well, I
so-
know I've been like looking at it
Like,
out of the side of
how
my
is this-
eye, and I'm like, but you know what? It's y'all's interview, and so like, if you want to talk about it, I'm pumped. I can't wait. I really cannot wait for. I don't even think though that they will understand how big.
Yeah.
Well, you really
Yeah,
don't
it is.
until you stand inside of it, because like he said earlier, we legit.
The fact
When-
that
when
you
we were
say
building-
stand inside of it.
Inside, oh, can't even
Yeah.
touch the top of it.
Yeah, when we were building, like we first popped up the drum after designing and breaking everything down, we're like, oh, we have to get in here and weld this drum inside of it. Like we're gonna
Talk about
we're gonna
ways
have to have a little
drum-
step ladder to get to like the top clean of it.
Yeah.
It's massive. It really is.
But what's good about it is it doesn't take up that much more room, and that's when we designed it, we had the 2000, which is a wonderful, wonderful pit. But
Yeah.
like, man, if we do just a little bit bigger,
Yeah.
which it's not incredibly bigger than a 2000. Now we're gaining 30% capacity, because again, capacity is everything.
It's just like scaling a business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
The real game changer of it was like we scaled it, but we designed the whole thing is designed around the carousel and the cooking chamber.
Correct.
Like how
Inside out.
how much can we grow and not have clearance issues, problems? Because obviously it's rotisserie, so there's moving parts. You can't like, if you overlook things get out of whack real quick. But going from a 6-pin to a 7-pin and a foot wider, and it's only like a foot taller and like 15 inches longer. And like the gains you get in quantity is massive. I'm sure the first person I think Mike was briefly talking to about it.
Yes.
Which was funny to me. I was like, shut up, like hang the phone up, man. Like, we're building this a 7-pin. They're like, that's cool. Can you do an 8-pin? I'm like, God, dude, we haven't even built the 7.
About that innovation.
Already talking about wanting a bigger one.
Let's go one more. It's like, well, you know what?
Can we
You're talking
finish
to
this
the
one
right
first?
guys.
But okay, I'll put that in my back pocket.
Don't throw that. Don't threaten us with a good
Yeah.
time, because we'll probably do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
well, from the looks of it, you will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just looking around, this place is amazing, man. Like, thank you so much for letting us come out here. It's been cool just walking around. Like, I'm still in awe. And we got a 12-hour drive home, and I know there's going to be so well, I'm just saying, like, I know there's going to be so much that we're going to be talking about. Like, oh, my God, did you see this? Or did you see this? Or really just, like, the passion that exudes from both of you guys. The fact that you lived in the back for 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years, man.
Like, that's just crazy. You know what I mean? In a great way.
Yeah.
Like, look, I want to be here. I want to know it. I want to build it. I want to do that. So, all right. So before we end, what is something, this is what I want to kind of know, like that you grew up, like comfort food for you? Like, I know it's not smoker related, but it
Okay.
kind of is, but like comfort food, like you came home and that was like,
I had it last night. I think I'll take this one.
I literally
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
that last night.
Chicken dumplings.
oh, yeah.
Chicken and
man.
dumplings. I
Yep.
had last
Regina
night.
was just talking about that.
I love chicken. I think it's a super underrated dish.
Yeah.
I love chicken dumplings. Chicken dumplings and chicken fried steak.
Oh yeah.
You're talking about comfort food.
Yeah,
Now, can you say white gravy or brown gravy, or is it like only white gravy? Like,
fighting words.
yeah, when I grew
Well,
up,
it's
like
white gravy,
it
baby.
was white gravy.
It's white
yeah,
gravy
Yeah.
for me at least. But yeah, chicken dumplings is one of my. I still remember going home and that'd be my comfort.
You stole half mine, so I'll go with another one. Mine has been chicken fried chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken fried chicken is my favorite, and then I'm a turkey fool. So talking about fighting words, beans and chili. Beans belong in chili.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know it's anti-Texan.
oh,
but
now.
Good news. We're looking for
beans
little
belong
thumbnails.
in-
Yeah,
you know,
you're
put-
about to get a
Here we
thumbnail. You're gonna go
Oh,
2 for 2.
He's
You're gonna
on
go,
the mic.
Oh,
we
man,
will
now
probably
you done
post
started
that
it.
one tonight.
Yeah, that one's gonna.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I make.
You want me?
I need to do more. I've been making so I love to cook and food prep for like the whole week.
Yeah.
And I've been making spicy turkey chili for like
Okay.
10 years, and I've got that thing dialed in. It is.
I'm a
Really,
turkey
really good.
junkie. I always say, like, I'll judge a barbecue place by their turkey.
I'll send
Man,
you my turkey
I
chili
think you
recipe.
should.
Yeah, I want it.
Dude, it's phenomenal, man. It really is. I've been like concocting that for a long time. Hell, you could spice it up with your own seasonings.
Well, we will.
Do a Lane.
Yeah, we absolutely will.
Dude, if I send y'all what I do in seasoning, make your own. Like make a Lane
Yes.
seasoned turkey chili pack.
Let's
will.
go.
Yeah,
And the first time we cook
It's
chili,
good,
we'll
too.
do it on our new smoker. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Heck yeah. Well, listen, guys. Like, I can't thank you enough. For staying late. It's cold.
I mean,
I'm
it
hoping
doesn't
like
look
they
like
don't
it, but it's
see my
20
knees
degrees right
shaking.
now.
You handed me the beer, and I'm like, honestly, I can't feel my hands, and I want to drop it.
It's the koozie. It's one of the
Yeah. All right. Before we break out, so where can everyone find you guys? So, like on social media, you know what I mean? Like, how do they find you?
Yeah,
How do
so
they
it's,
see your mug
can see the
on a
old
daily
mug
basis
on the-
showing off someone's smoker?
Just call the
M&M
answers.
BBQ Company.
Yeah.
All the way across the board for our YouTube, for Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah,
We're doing the TikTok.
Not MNN. MMBB Company.
Yep.
BBQ Company.
BBQ.
Yep.
All right, cool. We'll put it in the little link down
Yeah.
below for you as well. So, guys, I cannot wait to see what the rest of 2024, 2025 does for you guys.
Hopefully
So,
some YouTube action.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
And
I
then
just
hopefully
think
get you in
whatever
here,
you
too.
guys set your minds to, like,
Yeah.
you're going to hit it. And it's going to be so much fun to watch. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you
Get our
guys.
beautiful
Thank
beer
you.
here.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate the time.
It's a serious
Appreciate
trip.
you
Not
so
to
much.
mention y'all
and
came and
blessings.
the roads have been nuts in the
Yeah,
south. So
I know. Hey, for you guys,
It means a lot, man.
we're in. So, you guys, like, subscribe. I don't even know all the things that you're supposed
Yeah.
to do, but like, subscribe,
comment.
review,
Yeah.
but most
Thumbs
of
up.
all,
Talk
share.
about the beans and the chili.
Share.
Yes.
That's
Let's talk
yes.
about that.
Yeah.
Hey, in the comments, let's see who likes the beans and the chili and who doesn't like the beans and the chili.
There we go.
Let's finalize
If not,
this.
fight me.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And it's cold. It's gonna hurt your hand when you hit them. So, all right, guys. Hey, see you soon.
Take care.
Thank you.